You spend your days building a legacy. You fight for the promotion. You secure the mortgage. You plan the vacation for next summer. You walk through life with a strange, invisible armor. The armor of not me. Disaster happens to others. Betrayal happens to others. Death happens to others. You feel invincible because you have a plan. Because you are in control. But control is a vapor. It is the mist that vanishes. When the sun rises, you are never more vulnerable than the moment you think you have finally won. The moment you sit in the chair you fought for. The moment you let your guard down. What do you do when the people you trust the most are the ones holding the knife? What do you do when the world you conquered decides it no longer needs you? Travel with me to the stone streets of Rome. It is the 15th of March, 44 BC. The morning air is crisp, but the city smells of dust and old rain. Gaius Julius Caesar wakes up. He is 55 years old. His body is tired. He suffers from headaches and fits of shaking. But his spirit is a titan. He is the Dictator perpetual. Dictator for life. He has conquered Gaul. He has crossed the Rubicon. He has crushed his enemies in the Civil War. Today feels like a victory lap. He puts on his toga. It is white with a broad purple stripe, mark of power. He puts on a wreath of laurel leaves to hide his thinning hair. His wife, Calpurnia, grabs his arm. She has dreamed of a pediment collapsing, of holding his murdered body. She begs him, "Stay home." The soothsayer, Spurina, stands by the road. He warned Caesar days ago, "Beware the Ides of March." Caesar sees him in the crowd. He smiles, a confident, arrogant smile. "The Ides of March have come," Caesar jokes. "Yes," the soothsayer whispers back, "but they have not yet gone." Caesar enters the Theater of Pompey. The Senate is meeting here. Hundreds of men in white wool rise to greet him. The noise is deafening. Applause, respect, fear. He walks to his golden chair. He sits. He feels the cold gold against his back. He feels safe. He is among friends. Among men he pardoned. Among men he promoted. Tilius Cimber approaches him. He grabs Caesar's toga. He pulls it down from his shoulder. This is the signal. Suddenly, the air changes. The applause stops. There is only the sound of heavy breathing and the rustle of fabric. Publius Ceruleus Casca strikes first, a clumsy blow to the neck. Caesar catches the hand. He screams, "Shocking the room! Casca! You villain! What are you doing?" And then the dam breaks. They swarm him. Senators, friends, men he dined with. They are not men anymore. They are a pack of wolves. 23 daggers, going up and down, hacking at his chest, his face, his groin. Caesar fights like a lion. He twists, he turns, until he sees him, Marcus Brutus, the son of his mistress, a man Caesar loved like a son, a man Caesar forgave. Brutus stands there. His face is pale, his hand is shaking, but he steps forward and drives the blade into Caesar's groin. At that moment the fight leaves the old general. It is not the steel that kills him. It is the heartbreak. He looks at the boy. "You too, child." Caesar stops fighting. He does the only thing left for a Roman of dignity. He pulls the top of his toga over his face. He covers his head so that no one will see him die, so that he will not see the faces of his betrayers. He falls at the base of the statue of Pompey, his great rival. Blood soaks into the stone floor. The man who owned the world is now just a heap of white wool, stained red. The room is silent. The god is dead. We listen to this story, and we see a political tragedy. But the Stoic sees a universal law. We are all Caesar, not in fame, but in blindness. We walk into our own Senate houses every day. Confident, we ignore the warnings. We ignore the fatigue in our bodies. We ignore the silence of our partners. We ignore the fragility of our own luck. We think We have time. Caesar had plans to invade Parthia 3 days later. He had maps drawn, legions prepared, supplies gathered. He lived entirely in the future, but the future did not exist. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, wrote about this. He said, "You are organizing that which is not in your control, and what is in your control you are letting slip. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately." Caesar's mistake was not that he failed to spot the knives. His mistake was the arrogance of certainty. He believed his status protected him from nature. But nature creates no kings. Nature only creates mortals. The lesson of the Ides of March is not about politics. It is about Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, and what you say, and what you think. When you realize that the knife could fall at any moment, whether by accident, or illness, or betrayal, stop delaying your life. You stop holding grudges. You stop worrying about the opinion of the crowd. The crowd that cheered for Caesar stepped over his body an hour later. That is the worth of fame. That is the weight of reputation. Why do you trade your peace of mind for their applause? It is wind. It is nothing. Today, look at your plans. Look at the calendar where you have written down your future. Realize it is just a wish. It is not a promise. Be humble in your confidence. Be kind in your power. And forgive quickly, because you do not know when the toga will be pulled over your face. The only hour you own is this one. If you seek ancient wisdom, stay close.